Yo, what's up guys? I got pokeaim here, coach of the Bronx Beartics with my week 13, if I'm not mistaken, battle of the UCL. This time we are taking on Jay and the Carolina Keldeos. Now Jay has a very threatening team. Some of the best Pokemon in OU being Mega Scizor and Heatran. Then he has a great UU like offensive and even defensive core of, I guess, Suicune, but Suicune, Nidoking, Azelf, and then even some scary mons like Hitmonlee and Absol. So definitely gonna be a fun match and definitely a scary match. He has a lot of threats and he does have the potential to, I think, out-team me in certain parts. Like, for example, my Kyurem Black, which does really well versus his team, is very scared of Mega Scizor. Suicune can beat it 1v1 if it burns it. Things like Hitmonlee threaten it, Absol even. So, definitely going to be a scary team. I actually like the fact that the UCL background is of Season 1 and obviously this is Season 2. But yeah, I built this team by myself this week. I didn't really have too much time, but I wanted to build a team that I feel I would be comfy with mainly versus him. And I thought a lot about it. And in any case, let's just get right into it. Also, I want to give a shout out to my boy Kabu, who made my team for me. First off, as you can see, I'm actually not bringing Kyurem Black, and that was a very, 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 very tough decision for me to make. I had a few variations of this team, and this is the one I ended up liking the most. I really wanted to bring Kyurem back, especially because Ice Beam just kills everything with Hidden Power Fire, Earth Power, Fusion Bolt. The thing is, Pokemon like Azelf, Outspeed, Mega Scizor's BP, Hitmonlee, they just scare the hell out of me, so I decided not to bring Kyurem Black this time. But first off, we have the captain of the Bronx Beartics, Manaphy. Honestly, this is the first Pokemon that I thought of when I saw his team. Scald, Energy Ball, Ice Beam hits absolutely everything. Suicune checked, Nidoking checked, Azelf, Hitmonlee, Granbull, Absol, smacked by Scald. Heatran, Scald, Gliscor, Scald or Ice Beam, Mega Scizor, Scald. I was actually thinking about HP Fire, but the fact that he has Cradily leads me to bring Ice Beam over that. Otherwise, this would definitely be HP Fire over Ice Beam because that would also knock out Mega Scizor 100% at +3 and also be a decent check neutrally versus Mega Scizor. But Scald helps a lot too. Also, I EV'd it to be able to outspeed Jolly Hitmonlee, which also outspeeds Timid Nidoking as well. So Scald, Energy Ball, the rest was just dumped into HP just for the absolute bulk. But Energy Ball helps me deal with Suicune. Even if it's Roar Suicune, I could force it to rest and then Tail Glow up next to it and then Energy Ball, obviously. And Suicune, I think Manaphy can do a lot of work. It has a lot of potential. It's also known to be hacked every single, season of the UCL. It's only been 2, but a lot of games Manaphy is known to be hacked. But we'll see how this game actually ends up going. But I want a Manaphy because it gives me a water resist for Suicune, a fire resist for Heatran, and obviously a steel resist for Scizor, and just like can smack his team. It also deals with Dust Claps. Dust Claps could be annoying depending on it, but if I Tail Glow up, +3 Scald is going to be doing a hell of a lot. Next up we have Garchomp. Now originally this was my Stealth Rocker, but as you can see I do not have Stealth Rock at all on it. I gave it enough speed that way it can outspeed Nidoking, and Earthquake 100% knocks it out if it's no bulk Nidoking without any investment needed. I do outspeed Nidoking. I also outspeed Adamant Hitmonlee. I could give it a little bit more speed for Jolly Hitmonlee, but I think Jolly Hitmonlee is less of a threat than Adamant can be versus the team. This also checks Mega Scizor if it is SD. I do have Flamethrower or Fire Blast because I do not want to miss. Even though Flamethrower only does about 50 to 59% if it's like that standard Impish set with like 200 speed FEVs, I still did not want to miss, which is why I have Flamethrower over Fire Blast. I have Rocky Helmet plus Rough Skin, so Scizor, if it touches me, it's going to be taking a lot. And I actually have Endure. Now, this is just in case. I actually put this on last minute because I had Stealth Rock on this, and then I'll obviously have Rhydon on the team, and I'll talk about why I have that when we get to Rhydon. But I changed it to Endure because if Hitmonlee gets a little bit out of control, if it's like Fake Out on Burden, Endure, what it does is I can live a hit, and then it'll force it to... I'll force it to take an extra hit from Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet. It also forces Scizor to take that extra hit. Also is good for scouting. Maybe if Azelf wants to knock me out with U-turn, I go for that Endure. Not only do I survive and it takes all the extra damage, but I can get off a hit after that. Azelf will take all that damage. It's just great for scouting as well, and then maybe stalling out with Life Orb. So that's why I want to Endure over that. Earthquake again deals with Nidoking as well as Heatran. And then we have Dragon Tail, which is just a phase around Mega Scizor if needed, or Gliscor if needed, or maybe Azelf if I think that thing's going to come in and do some damage. Also, having Garchomp plus Rhydon, as you guys have seen, that means that HP Ice is less of an issue since it does not 2-hit KO Rhydon at all. And if he has HP Grass, then Garchomp obviously checks Manectric. It's regular Manectric, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. But Garchomp can also check Absol if that thing gets out of line, which is also another reason why I want to Endure to waste some more. But next up we have CBB, the Snorlax, and very, very special defensive this week. We're hitting a leftovers number with 36 HP EVs and max Spadef. That way we can take on Nidoking, that way we can take on Boosted Suicune, that way we can take on Heatran, that way we can take on Life Orb, Azelf. Pretty much any special attacker, Manectric, that my opponent has, CBB can take on. Now we have Body Slam, Fire Punch, Curse, and Rest. The rest is put into defense. At +2, we do live Hitmonlee's Adamant, Life Orb, High Jump Kick, and knock it out with Body Slam after that. But yeah, this is mainly so I can take a Nidoking Sludge Wave plus Superpower. If it is Life Orb, I tank that. Also, I wanted Fire Punch and Body Slam because Fire Punch just gives me that coverage versus Mega Scizor that I desperately need. Mega Scizor is definitely a threat. It also lets me do some decent damage to Dusclops if I am boosted up enough. But it's mainly just because Mega Scizor can definitely be a problem to this team. And I don't want it to be, so I put Fire Punch over that. I don't think I need Earthquake because Body Slam, if I get the pair on Heatran anyway, I 1v1 it regardless. And obviously Curse and Rest with Thick Fat, I take on Heatran's attacks. This also checks Manectric, pretty much any special attacker on this team. And I can Curse alongside a Suicune Calm Minding up, and with Max Spadef, Body Slam Paras, I could take it on. I do have to worry about pressure, but Snorlax should be doing something in this game. Definitely, especially because I have fat wishes, as you guys will see. But next up, we have Aim, the Rhydon. Like I said, I am bringing both my Rhydon and my Garchomp this week, mainly because if Manectric is kind of forced to run HP Ice if he does bring it, because I do have Flygon and Garchomp. So I would expect him to bring the HP Ice versus me. What Rhydon does is it checks the Manectric while also giving me a solid check to Heatran, a solid check to, this actually lives Adamant, Life Orb, High Jump Kick from Hitmonlee 100% of the time. It takes on Absol, it takes on Manectric. I have Fire Punch, that way Scizor cannot set up. I also live +2 Superpower from Offensive Scizor, and obviously +2 BP at that. Avalanche is because it can OHKO max HP Gliscor if he's not running any defense, though I do expect him to run defense, but this is also something that can check Gliscor, which is why I wanted to run Avalanche on it, which is doubled in power after being hit. And then the Earthquake is just great stab for Heatran, for even Suicune coming in. We'll take about 25-30% from it if it's physically defensive. Gramble, Manectric obviously. And again, Hitmonlee goes down after a Life Orb hits an Earthquake. So I wanted the Stealth Rocker, and I wanted to put that Endure on my Garchomp, that way I could better check his physical attackers. So that's why we have Rhydon on the team, and hopefully Aim can, I don't know, I feel like this mon is like hit or miss. I love Rhydon a lot. I wanted it over Mega Aggron just because it is a ground type, so it does obviously block Mega Manectric's Volt Switch, which could be threatening for me. I was debating putting Wakame on Manaphy, but the fact that he has Heatran and I might have to switch it into Heatran, I just wanted the longevity. My legs are like slipping down here. I have like this box on the bottom that I'm just like, yeah, okay. Let me just try not to balance on that. But I wanted that longevity, which is why I put leftovers over Wakame on Manaphy. So next up we have Whitley, kind of like the crutch of the team, the glue, I think that keeps it together. We have Fat Wishes, the Alamola, Max Spadef, because this does let me take on Nidoking. I'm not 2-hit KO'd by Nidoking after Protect ever, unless it has Thunderbolt. And as you can see, we have the Mirror Coat Tech in the back. This is because this can take on +6 Suicune if it gets out of hand. +6 Suicune doesn't 2-hit KO me actually, but Mirror Coat will do about 80% back, and I either force it to rest or either attack me after that. I think +6 Scald does like 42% max, if maybe less, or around that side. This can take on a Life Orb Thunderbolt from Manectric and knock it out with Mirror Coat. Takes on the Life Orb Azelf, Psychics. I opted for Scald. At first I have Waterfall because it does more to Heatran, it does more to Gliscor, but I put Scald over that because I do not want Scizor to have free setup on any of the first 5 Pokemon on my team. On none of them do I want Scizor to have free setup. So if Scizor wants to set up on me, that boy has to deal with a 30% chance to burn. And we're Team Scald out here, so we get those burns. But just the Fat Wishes, Wish Protect, being able to pass to Garchomp, Manaphy, Snorlax, Right on. Honestly, I think this thing is going to be putting in a lot of work just passing those fat wishes, and even the Mirror Coat should be catching Nidoking hopefully off guard, and that's definitely what I'm going to try and do with this. But just wish passing, being able to pass to the Mons without reliable recovery, especially Garchomp with the rough skin Rocky Helmet, I think that'd be really nice. I also take a Life Orb Adamant high jump kick, just one, but if I protect, it's obviously going to take 50% to itself. So though Waterfall does more to Hitmonlee, I wanted Scald again for the Scizor reason. And I think that Curse Lash just puts in a lot of work versus team. Same thing with Tailglow Manaphy. So as long as those guys are boosted and have the fat HP wishes coming at them because of my HP, I should be in a good position. Last but not least, now this slot was very, very tough for me to choose. Let me tell you the options I had. Tangrowth, Gardevoir, Garbodor, excuse me, Kyurem Black, Flygon. I was even thinking Pyroar, or like HP Ice, HP Ground, Hyper Voice, Taunt, something weird like that. Kyurem Black for Manectric being more of an issue, but I feel like Manectric is checked by Snorlax, by Rhydon. And I was very, very, very paranoid about Hitmonlee. I feel like Hitmonlee is so good versus my team. And even though I'm scared about Absol as well, I opted for Calm Mind Reuniclus. Now, Hard Body. Hey, why are you not shiny? There you go. Hard Body does exactly that. It can body my opponent's team. I decided, I was thinking about, do I want to run HP Fighting because Absol could be an issue? Do I want to run Focus Blast? Do I want to run HP Ground for Heat Rain? Do I want to run HP Fire for Scizor? I figured because the first 5 members of my team do not allow Scizor for free setup, usually, I should be okay to go with Focus Blast. And I actually opted for Focus Blast just because it hits Heat Rain as well as Absol. Hidden Power Fighting doesn't do enough damage, unfortunately. If it was still in black and white with 70 base power, maybe it would knock out Absol with the +1 boost, but it does not knock out Absol. So I have Cobra Berry because this Pokemon can take 1 Adamant Life Orb High Jump Kick from Hitmonlee plus a knockoff and knock it out 100% with Psy Shock. Hitmonlee was so much of a threat that I definitely wanted to bring Reuniclus. And Cobra Berry also helps me last-ditch effort check Absol. This can Calm Mind up on Gramble. It can beat Manectric. Manectric might have Switcheroo, but it pretty much beats the majority of his team. I mean, SD Gliscor could be an issue, but Manaphy smacks the thing with an Ice Beam. I didn't feel like putting max speed on my Manaphy for Gliscor, or enough speed for Gliscor, mainly because if it's speedy, it doesn't take the hits as well. So, for example, if it's max speed, then Rhydon knocks it out with, like, Avalanche because it's not going to have much bulk. But, yeah, Reuniclus just puts the team together. It can beat Calm Mind Suicune if it's not Roar Suicune. He could definitely bring Roar Suicune, but between Body Slams, Tail going up, like eventually I'm going to phase that thing. I'm going to wear that thing down. I guess Toxic Spikes from Nidoking could be an issue if he wants to bring that. That's definitely something I'm a little bit worried about, but with Magic Guard, we should be okay. We should definitely be okay versus the Nidoking at that. And for the Calm Mind boost, this thing can definitely sweep his team, like Reuniclus always tends to do. But that's going to be the team for this week. Hopefully the Bronx Beartics can pull out another win. I know a few of the other teams are like banking on this win to make it into playoffs, depending on how they do this week as well. So we'll see. But yeah, fully physically defensive. That way we can take on Hitmonlee's high jump click with knockoff with the Cobra Berry and then knock it out with Psy Shock. And that should be the game. So he definitely has a bunch of threats. And again, I hope we can do our best this week. But yeah, that's it. That's going to be it, guys. Later.